Disclaimer: everything that is discussed, posted is strictly for educational and historical purposes only. It does not promote nor condone illegal activities. BHA'S Twilight. Twilight was bred and raised by Gigabyte. He owned her sire and dam, the infamous Grand Champion chapters Doi 2013 and Black Widow. She was of a repeat breeding. On the top side of Twilight's pedigree, GRCH chapters was of CH Beretta for a XW Poor, a dog tightly bred on the Frisco blood, and Princess Eli Bolio female from the Licorice imports. On the bottom side, Black Widow was also tightly bred on the Frisco blood and Eli Bolio from Licorice. Essentially the top and the bottom were similar with different strains of the same bloodline. Twilight was a gift from Gigabyte to BHA. She was 14 months old when BHA picked her up. She had an easy temper, well-mannered, and when walked in the street she would avoid other dogs and sometimes even run away from them. Nevertheless, when she was placed in the square, she would complete her task flawlessly. She began her schoolings at the age of 18 months. The first was against a dog 3 kilograms heavier than her. As BHA said, he never forgot that day. It was a Wednesday. He had Twilight between his legs, acting like a puppy, and the other female looking like a mean machine ready to demolish her. When they were released, the heavier dog crossed the square like a rocket and got Twilight. She was confused and did not know what hit her for about 2 minutes. After that she got up and grabbed the other dog by the muzzle. Basically she ripped her apart. The opponent ran away from her, leaving her teeth on the carpet. BHA collected them as a trophy and still has them till this day. Twilight's second schooling was similar to the first one, and after that it became hard to find someone willing to school against her. Since no one wanted to school with Twilight, BHA decided to school her against a male. The result was identical. She showed what she was made of. The decision to put her weight out was made right after the last schooling session. The weight was put out at 17.5 kilograms, and she was worked nicely on the mill but was a bit of a lazy dog, although she would give 100% in the square. Vikings Nikki vs. BHA'S Twilight. Female, 17.7 kilograms. Time, 59 minutes. Both dogs make weight with BHK in the center doing the honors. Dogs are faced and meet in the middle of the pit. It was said prior that Nikki fights nothing but the muzzle. Nikki appears to be slightly stronger and decided to be the aggressor, and Twilight goes on defense. Twilight seems to be confusing her opponent with the way she is fighting on the muzzle, leaving her hold and moving a bit back, then grabs the throat and works her way to the back end only to come back and sit on the ear, then the muzzle and throat. This back and forth continued and frustrated Nikki. A turn was called on Nikki and a handle is made. Turn and face your dogs. Nikki comes out of the corner with Twilight meeting her halfway. Another handle comes shortly after and Twilight goes straight to the muzzle, continuing her onslaught. Final handle of the show and Nikki takes the count. However, Twilight didn't win the show yet, as both parties agreed winner needs to scratch to win. Twilight comes out like a freight train straight on the muzzle and is declared the winner. The Abattoir, second show, Ironwood's Nina vs. BHA'S 1XW Twilight. Females, 17.5 kilograms. Time, 1 hour 43 minutes. Dogs meet in the center, with Nina coming out rough and fast, but Twilight with experience takes control from the beginning. Nina was just hustling to break through all the time, but to no avail as Twilight starts to deface the muzzle of Nina. At 1 hour 20 minutes Twilight is still in full control, damaging the muzzle. After few scratches, Nina quit at 1 hour 43 minutes, making BHA'S Twilight a 2XW. Third show, Arkenstone's 1XW Francisca vs. BHA'S 2XW Twilight. Females, 17.8 kilograms. Time, 23 minutes. Dogs meet in the center, with Francisca taking the leg up front as Twilight takes her usual muzzle hold, furiously working and destroying Francisca's muzzle. After 23 minutes there was no coming back for Francisca. Arkenstone conceded, with Francisca giving a game scratch, making Twilight a legitimate 3XW champion. Well done to all players participating. After the championship show, it was hard to find opponents on her weight class, as she was considered one of the best 17.5 kilograms females in the country. So BHA decided to push her weight to 18 kilograms in order to take on another champion for her fourth show. Unfortunately, Twilight got sick with tick bite fever and the forfeit was paid. The goal was to make her a grand champion hopefully, but unfortunately she died from the disease. Twilight was never bred because she had a genetic prolapse, so the decision to stitch her up was taken early. Well, there you have it, folks, the story of BHA'S Champion 3XW Twilight.